Hey, what's going on, Renaissance Lifers? Welcome back to Renaissance Life TV. Today we're talking about how to remove negative emotional and mental blocks from your life. Alright, welcome back guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you're new here, Renaissance Life TV is a channel where we take life to a whole new level. Each week we put out videos on personal growth and success with a different perspective on navigating life and relationships. So today we're talking about how to overcome nagging emotional and mental blockages and blocks in your life. So I recently suffered from negative mental blocks and emotional blocks that were holding me back a couple years ago. So maybe 2 years ago now, I was in a place in my life where I was getting things done per se, but I really felt like I wasn't reaching my potential, not doing what I even wanted to do. So there were things where I knew who I was, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. And so initially, I think for most people, you would think maybe that you're lazy. But if you know that that's not your issue, that's not the thing, you have the desire to, but you just can't bring yourself to doing it, there's probably some sort of blockage in your mind, in your emotions that you have to overcome in order to free yourself to do what it is that you're trying to do. Okay, so there are just a few quick steps. And I'm not gonna say that this process is quick, but the steps are really quick to go through. I don't wanna make this a really long video because you can do a seminar on this topic. But I just wanna sort of lay out the quick steps for you so you can go down and delve in deeper into each of one of these steps and at least have some direction as to where to go and what is possible once you get to that destination. So the first step is probably very intuitive, which is that you have to identify what your mental or emotional blockages are, right? So in order to deal with them, you gotta know what they are. So what this might look like is taking out a sheet of paper and writing down things that have bothered you or have impacted you negatively in your life, or maybe major life changes, moves, decisions that you've made in recent years. Go back as far as you feel like it's relevant, right? And you want to identify all those things and you want to think through them and see if there's anything in there that you're maybe holding on to or that's impacting the way you're making decisions or your ability to make decisions in the present. So if you're having a hard time identifying the blockages, maybe talk to a very close friend or confidant who knows you and has been with you, because they might be able to identify those things that you talk about that you may not even realize that you're saying, but they are paying attention to, or they'll be able to recall those things. The last option for identifying it is going to seek professional help, going to a therapist, because they can guide you through the process and the journey of unwrapping and unraveling some of those things so that way you can identify the source of your blockage. So once you identify what the blockage is, you want to simultaneously or soon thereafter identify what the source of that blockage is. So if your blockage is a feeling of ineptitude or an inability to get things done, self-doubt, maybe that's what the blockage is. Then you want to determine what is the source of that blockage. Where does that come from? Is it because of the way you were raised? Is it because of the way your parents spoke to you when you were a child? Is it because of a relationship that really impacted your life where the person was demeaning constantly, right? And telling you that you can't do something or whatever the case might be. You want to identify the source because that will also give you more clarity into what the blockage is. I've said on another video not to underestimate the factors that are impacting you in your life on a daily basis. The source of your blockage, that feeling of depression, the feeling of anxiety might be being overworked or not getting enough exercise, not having a good diet, all those things, or just the type of friends that you have around you. So once you can identify what the blockage is, you can identify the source of that blockage, then you can actually go through the steps of trying to deconstruct that blockage. So in terms of deconstructing the blockages, I'm not an expert, but I do have some experience in going through this process myself. And for me, seeking the help of a therapist was really helpful. You know, I was probably one of those people who subconsciously believed in the past that there was really no need for a therapist maybe, or I never would need a therapist. And so, you know, giving it a shot, you know, really had such a positive impact, because I realized that there were things there that I really didn't even realize, you know, were impacting me. And you've probably heard that from a million people, like, you know, they went to therapy and they realized there were things there from their childhood that they didn't even realize were impacting them till today. And that's just the nature of human beings, right? We compartmentalize, some of us better than others, you know, but what that generally means is that maybe we, you know, don't address what's impacting us, but we're all being impacted by things that have happened to us in the past, present, and things that will happen to us in the future. So dealing with those things and deconstructing them can really have a profound impact on the way you view yourself, your abilities, your capability, and allow you to be able to get rid of your mental and emotional blockages. And what's important about that is that suddenly you're out of the rut that you found yourself in, that you can't really explain. Even though you have the desire to do something, you have the inability to do it. So you're able to finally get out of your own way by deconstructing those things, whether it's voices from your past, whether it's, you know, life situations in the present that are holding you back. Once you can do that, you can start dreaming again. You can start chasing your dreams and accomplishing the things that you already know that you can accomplish. So I hope that this is enough of a bite or a taste to give you some insight into what that process may look like, you know, some ways of going about it and approaching it, so that way you can kind of seek and delve in deeper to get the results that you're looking for in your personal life. In this channel, we're all about personal growth, success, and navigating life from a different perspective. And what that means is, you know, not doing the status quo, not just remaining in the place that we are, but trying to improve and release ourselves from some of the things that may be holding ourselves back. So before I end, you know, some of the exercises that have really helped, there are some complex ones and there are some that seem simple and pretty silly. But, you know, going through therapy, there were some exercises that really helped me deconstruct those things. And some of those were, you know, self-affirming messages. Some of those exercises are writing down messages on your mirror, right? You know, so you have these constant reaffirmations on a daily basis, because the more you see it, the more you believe it. The more you see it, the more you understand that whatever the opposite is that you've been hearing is not true, right? The more you go through those sessions, you can identify and realize and get to a place where the narrative changes in your mind, because the mind is the most powerful thing. And so if there's a narrative playing on repeat in your mind, it's very hard to overcome that and do anything differently. But if you can change that narrative, you suddenly become a different person. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, please leave it in the comment section below. And until next time, and as always, I'm wishing you health and happiness. Cheers.